Hold on.
Why do we all create our own dance for that? I swear when it was on, that shit was like, run, run. Shit's not gonna be the dance. What if the dance was on some like some Millie Rock shit? What if it's like run, run? We were like, hey.
Nice. Real quick, what y'all think about this one? What? Let's do some predictions.
I think this would be like forever.
Probably chanty. It's probably get you with the
I got a feeling it's gonna be like Young Forever, like forever. Like something connected to it because they like to do a lot of callbacks.
It's probably gonna be giving some youth for the nation.
It's for youth, so
remember it's gonna be probably inspiring, uplifting.
Welcome back, Redeemers. My name is Jarek.
Young Lo
Keith, and I'm Curtis.
And
we from the bottom.
Woo! That was a banger. Y'all should go watch that video.
Hurry up and get there.
Hashtag make BTS drop MV. Today,
Snyder cut.
Make it right.
Today,
Make it right.
Yo, what's that? Oh, okay.
What?
It just says that people should subscribe.
Oh shit, that's crazy. They should subscribe and like.
Yeah, drop a comment. Hit that little notification bell. We gonna get into it though. This is For Youth by BTS.
Gasa.
Cool.
In Hangul. Hey yo.
That's funny.
You understand this when you see the after credit scene.
Hey, I called you for the nation, bro.
This is what they was just talking about, Kurt.
If I never met you, 어떤 모습일까, baby. Every time I miss you, 습관이 돼버린 그 말.
Oh, this about to be like.
IG caption.
You notice that beat change for him? Okay. That was nice.
It's making me reminisce and wanna cry.
JK.
You hear Jimin in the back?
It's the vocals like that. Like in the back.
Simple beat, like beat patterns. You got here hi hat.
It's almost like a live band, a live drummer. Key change. I know this ain't a key change.
Uh-oh, come on, JK.
I want JK to bring us home.
You promise? Do you promise?
Or they let V bring it up.
Wait a minute.
Take it how you want to.
Uri, our life.
And the Blowfish.
That was beautiful.
You know what it
The
reminds me
rare
of?
K-pop keychain.
It reminds me of you know how sometimes
I have nothing without you.
well something like that, but like how R. Kelly will have like a ballad on that. No, but as a musician,
I know what you mean.
like he'll have those ballads on the album that'll just supersede and kind of overshadow any upbeat like song that he might have, and you'll be cool with it. Mm-hmm. That's what this kind of reminds me of. Like very dramatic, very layered, very well done. The band or the production felt live, kind of like I was saying before.
Orchestral.
Yeah. It's just.
Go ahead.
It's like if the album had an anthem, or overall like anthem, this kind of feels like it could be it. You know, like your I Can't Sleeps or World's Greatest or like Gotham City.
The anthem for this has already been established. But I hear what you're saying.
True.
But I love that about it, Keith, because it didn't feel like sometimes music sits in pockets, and it might have like the chorus pocket, the verse pocket, that key change pocket, or kind of when they flip to the R&B side when they do like these K-pop songs. With this, it felt live, like the beat actually felt organic.
Yeah.
It felt like certain drum patterns were taken away and never put back in. I love that. That exchange from Jimin to V-Hope, J-Hope, jumping, I think, to JK. No, V. Jumping to V.
Jimin and J-Hope, and then it was Jimin and V, and then it was
jumped
JK.
From JK. That I love that passing of the baton, vocal wise, like that just was beautiful. I wanted JK at first to take us home, but I love what they did with V. Just breathy, cleared out all the beats and everything, and kind of just let him take us home. This was beautiful. I don't want to make it seem like I'm bashing Yet to Come. This got me more emotional,
But you will.
this kind of got me a little bit more emotional. This seemed like one of them songs where it's like the end of the movie, or like kind of like, you know what I mean?
How dare you compare them?
I'm sorry, they're the same albums.
Hang him.
Wait a minute.
But yeah, and this was in that good pocket of not so much just kind of like R&B, but kind of like that
Neo soul.
jazz, like that, like
soul,
that soulful pocket. Like you can be like in a soulful lounge with just like a couple people playing.
Because the BPM was like D'Angelo. Untitled.
Yes,
That's literally what I thought
Makes me
of.
want to go on a fancy date.
that's the.
And you got that bass that just keeps marching. That
Shit, you could fuck around and propose to this.
yeah.
Yeah, no, this is really me. I took this as like a love letter to Army, even though that's what we kind of said, or that's what one of the
Which all three songs at this point probably could be
Perceptions.
love letters.
This one I feel
That's
like
true.
is more
Promises.
so
That's true.
a letter to Army
even
because just
spiritually,
because
the last
of
one
how
was
they
like No
opened
More
it up
Dreaming,
with
that
the
type
it's funny, we just watched Raza Bangtan Pantan not too long ago, and there was what was the name of this one? Truth Untold. Yeah, Truth Untold, and Jimin was talking about what made him
Fall back
in
love.
love with being in BTS and everything
off
like
that
that. And it was
ledge.
Army singing "Young Forever, Forever We Are Young," and I literally called that shit at the beginning. That shit is crazy. I just felt the vibe.
That's what made it so emotional, because it was like the new eyes that we're having of everything literally dropping today.
Exactly
Right now, and where they were back then and everything. It connected so beautifully.
I think that's so dope that we did that, and we're dropping all of this. You know,
It was like you almost
today and
couldn't,
everything.
you know, real life is stranger than fiction in a lot of ways, and just how that lined up was really, really heartfelt and poetic.
That key change make you almost want to tear up, man.
I want it, and the thing is, I think it is great. I wanted them to like really like belt. I wanted them,
bro.
I wanted all of them to harmonize and belt, and I wanted, you know, some obviously I expected JK.
I wanted it to be a Whitney moment,
Yeah,
almost,
I
bro.
wanted that
I really think BTS owe that to
What
themselves.
was it, Magic Shop, where like Jimin and JK hit that high note at the end?
Mm-hmm.
I wanted one of those after that keychain.
It's like all these songs they drop just make you want more.
Yeah,
I thought, because I thought, especially with the way, like I said,
I see what y'all doing.
I've only heard maybe like 2 or 3 key changes in K-pop. One of them is Deja Vu.
Well, actually, there were
And-
7. I'm just saying.
I know.
I like the key change. Dynamite has a key change.
That's the
Yeah.
other
Like
one.
I like that key change, but I feel what you mean. I love key changes when they're done
The soul
properly.
ballad
When they're
key change,
soulful, soulful ballads. You know what I mean?
This dog, like I said,
All you need is Kurt
even
Franklin.
with
We
the
gonna
stuff
take it
that I
off.
still felt like I wanted there. This song is amazing. I meant to download it. I was just so busy
Enamored?
fucking talking and shit like that.
Definitely a good song.
Let me go ahead and
It
download
progressively got better too. To me, like it came on, and once you hear like kind of that sample, you already kind of know what you're gonna get into. I felt like Jen and them laid the groundwork for getting into the song, but as this song keeps going on and
What's that bass
progressing,
hit?
and that bass line just keeps growing. Like I said, this is not a rare occasion, because I think they have a couple other songs like that where the beat just feels organic. Like it really just feels like the producer and everything, like it had a mind of its own, and it just grew and opened up towards the end.
It almost sounds like they got in the studio with a live band, and you know they were playing to the song, like, you know, or drop it out, or like they're actually getting cues as they're recording. That's what it sounds like.
I want to listen to this when I'm driving and it's raining.
Be careful.
Yeah, no, this.
Pull
And then
over.
with just like looking at the lyrics and everything they're saying, my favorite verse was definitely J-Hope's, just from what he was talking about. You know, just looking back, like I said, this verse now that I'm seeing with Runch and everybody talking about it, I feel like I said, this is cemented now that this is a letter to Army, because just stuff that they're saying, they're like, you're my best friend, you've been with me the whole time. 10 years, V said, when I look back 10 years ago, when I cried so easily, when I laughed so easily, you've been there with me the whole time. You were my best friend. Or Jimmy comes in and says, you're my best friend. You're my best friend for the rest of my life.
It was like, where would we be if we'd ever met you? It's a whole bunch of kind of like.
And even just piggybacking briefly off of the V thing, he was the member to join last. So he probably felt a certain type of way, at least scared, joining a new group and everything like that. And kind of, you know, all these connections that had somewhat been formed already, and you had to kind of integrate yourself into that. And so for him to say, I laughed so easy, I cried so easy, and, you know, you still kind of been there for me, and then having the vocals pick up right after that, like, we'll always be here for you sort of thing. I could tell that was definitely incredibly personal, and I can't even imagine the writing process that they went through with that, but yeah.
To stamp on your, or to add to your point, V's situation was that he debuted last.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Jimin
joined the
joined
group
last.
but V debuted last, so he wasn't in any of their promotion or anything until they.
It's like members had
he
a
didn't
head-
get to connect
members
with
had a
all
head
them till
start.
After, so everybody else had that connect. It's still kind of the same thing.
No,
but
yeah. The heart of the point I'm making is still true, but
he didn't get to connect with them.
It was even in the
until
Rise
afterwards.
episode, because that was one of the heartfelt moments for V in particular, was people were going up to everyone else in line, you know, with Army,
And he's just looking,
to
yeah.
sign autographs, and no one was in his line because they didn't know him.
Oh, but when he debuted, and
No, but
they
it's
saw
just,
that, and they
that's
saw that.
what I
face,
mean. It's
yeah.
just moments like that, and again, you know,
I
it
would've
comes
been in
back to the whole bulletproof thing. I'm not trying to, you know, cut off your point or anything, but it just makes it that much more, you know, it makes all those moments just resonate so
Not
much.
for V. Sorry.
You were right there with me.
Also, man, shout out to Hope, man.
row for
I
Jimin.
love that like melodic like tone that he went into.
Yeah, he killed it.
went into like a certain pocket with the melodic part. I like that for Hope.
That was another thing too. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you
Go ahead,
off.
no, you good, bro.
The fact that they were delivering lines on an offbeat. Even the way V ended the song was on an offbeat. Like he had that pause, like that. and then he would come in with my
Like
life.
he almost winked at the band or some shit.
Right, right. Like that's a very R&B ish thing. You know what I mean?
Those is those telltales that let you see about artists. That's why you know V is soulful. Like certain people don't do that on the tail end of like
That's
these
why he
songs.
my bias, man.
So when you hear certain people do that, like
I want to
like,
do
all
more
those-
of that. That's
you
the
just
thing.
be like,
like,
okay.
Let your soul. I can't
Some
wait.
hot sauce on that chicken.
I don't know the name of his mixtape, but I'm calling it R&V for right now. So I can't
R&V.
wait. I can't wait to hear what R&V sound like because I know he gonna be. in
Yo, I
his
swear if
duffel.
they name this shit R&V, we'll never it'll be over.
Telepathy. Let me tell him.
This is really beautiful though,
Yeah,
man.
it is.
I maybe I'm a sucker for the moment. This only kind of has doubled down on
You're not a sucker, Sean.
that they thank you, bro. Just double down and on like I don't think they hit their prime or they peak. Just because they still dishing out content that's like this. And for all we know, they could have just been like had these bars for 2 years. Let me put some shit down real quick.
A long time ago,
Yeah, because I know sometimes us as fans, we be like, yeah, it took a lot of hard work and dedication. Sometimes it be situations like, nah, I've been sitting on this for 2 years.
Like, bro, this shit was in the notes.
Yeah, let me get my clip off. Like,
Or-
this shit 5 years old. Like,
It really sound like we
wrote this on the plane ride from Seoul to Philly.
we gonna drop an anthology album. So we're just gonna do all our new tracks are gonna be geared toward Army.
It's the easiest song we ever
Write some
made.
verses. This is the beat.
I said it was the first song.
Oh, I
we
think
ever
it's the
made.
easiest song we ever made. What's this shit?
Yeah, but it's
Either way, hilarious.
all that. All that to say, like that, I feel like they got a lot more like in the tank, and that like they're just getting started. And clearly, the speculation and rumors of certain things, from what I'm gauging from the music, they've yet to like. Here we come, like you know what I mean. Run BTS, like we about to really run our movie. Like this shit really about to go up. So you know, I know people felt like they were tired, and I think that might have been more of physically tired
Yeah.
or just exhausted from like you know the
I feel like
permission
the
to dance
pandemic,
concert.
they got a break though. So
Even with the pandemic, I thought they were the most working people during it.
no, they work during it, but I
But you
still
talking
feel
about as
like
far as,
they
like, doing concert
going
shows and
crazy.
going
Like
out?
is with their schedule. What their schedule is, the pandemic was a reset for the world. They still did content,
But they
of
were
course,
still
but
doing like a lot of Kimmel stuff, like
Pandemic.
a lot of who's the other one? The
Fallon-
Chevy
Corden?
one.
James
My fault,
Corden.
not Kimmel, Fallon.
Fallon and
I'm
then-
talking about like
yes.
2020. 2020, they was
Yeah.
chilling.
Vision.
I feel like
No, bro.
No.
they came back
they-
in 2021, wasn't it? Was
But they were on like the late shows they were
2020 is all
doing.
those late show Johns. Like they still kind of were.
they did a lot of
traveling.
performances.
Jones at the beginning of the year. I'm talking about.
But they were like
after
in
March.
studio.
Some of that shit is older though. Like Life Goes On and all that stuff came out after.
Yeah,
like, later.
that's last
I mean, I get what you're. I get what
No,
you're
I'm
saying.
asking. So if I'm wrong, I'm
Yeah,
wrong.
no,
but-
I get what you're saying. Like obviously, 2020 was a reset for a lot of stuff, but from what I seen, it looked like they still were kind of flying to do shows, going out and about doing things. But yes, I do think 2020 was more of a relaxed year because they did say it themselves that they
Yeah.
missed
Exactly.
certain things on like touring and doing certain shit. But yeah, I'm good, man. I got everything I needed from these 3 tracks, man. I want more. I'm a little frustrated because I honestly. Now I'm just like, what the fuck would 15 tracks, New Jones would have sounded like by itself?
The world may never know.
Now I gotta find somebody with a goddamn CD player.
But you know what though? It's kind of what
You'll
you
be
said.
able to
like
get those off of
you said,
BitTorrent or something.
The fan base is so insatiable.
We don't
But this
support
is why
piracy.
they're insatiable. You know what I mean?
Some Napster babies.
LimeWire,
Bear shit.
Jesus
Rest in
Christ.
peace, LimeWire.
Basically, if you got a computer, you don't give a fuck about. You know, you can get it off of there.
If you got a Dell,
Curry, how you feel though? I know you still got the extended clip to.
Yeah, this was incredibly beautiful, emotional, and I didn't expect anything less necessarily, given how they're embracing the past and everything, and showing that values and everything are still the same to them, but also taking a new direction and definitely closing out the previous chapter and kind of just really processing and reminiscing on everything. But and the other tracks absolutely did that beautifully that we checked out as well. In their own unique but equally of the same value kind of ways. But with this in particular, it was just like, I mean, I loved that the beat wasn't too crazy and that it did feel live and everything like that for the most part, at least. But that beginning sample of Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Is that particularly Army singing that back to them in that moment, or is that them with the Young Forever?
I'm assuming
It was Angels.
From the best.
Yeah. I didn't know if it was like a far back audio of them singing, or if it was like, you know, specifically. But all that to say, it was crazy because we had literally just a few hours ago reacted to the Truth Untold Rise of Bangtan episode, which Jimin specifically referenced that song and everything. And it just, hearing it now, like, it's just crazy how the timing of that worked out. But knowing how important that was to him in particular, and I'm sure to many of the group. But the fact that they included that, I can't help but feel like, whether it's for Jimin specifically or for everyone else, just including that sample as a legit reminder, you know, straight on the track of this is why we do this is why we're here. And the For Youth aspect of it, both, you know, for who they were when they were younger, like talking to their younger selves, and also talking to Army and everything like that, and talking to each other as well. It just, there's so much within that to pull apart, because it fits all of those narratives if you choose to interpret the music that way. But basically, you know, I love that they're essentially kind of talking about where they had come from and everything. Like in each verse, they did something unique from the rap line side of things. Like RM basically saying wherever we walk, it's going to be a new path, because we're you know, trendsetters and everything of that nature. But also just because it's like we don't feel directionless. You know what I mean? Like we're not just narrowly kind of wandering about. Like we know why we're here. We know what we're doing. It's going to be a new path wherever we choose to go. So I thought that was poetic as far as, you know, embodying that as well. And then when you get to J-Hope's verse, and I absolutely loved all the flows and everything like that as well. But J-Hope saying that you were my, or basically the idea of you were kind of my flower, or my spring flower, or a flower on my spring day, which tying into the spring day passive everything, literally my favorite song from BTS. So that bar hit me the most personally. But basically just the idea of whatever proverbial winter or trauma or anything that we're dealing with, whatever that cold spell is, you guys were my flower on that spring day. Like, just you were the ones that gave me life, that kind of, you know, thawed me out, if you will, allowed me to find myself again. That was just so beautiful, poetic, and tying that into literally my favorite song from them, like that just hits so much more. And then when you get to Suge's verse, of course, the whole idea of basically surrounded by nothing but darkness, and then that thin, you know, sliver of light, which was basically you guys, and we know about his past and his backstory and everything like that, as far as all the injuries he was dealing with. Yeah. So the fact that he was able to kind of, you know, articulate. No, you're good. The fact that he was able to articulate that in such a way, it felt really beautiful. But it also, I can't help but tie it into a little bit of the concept photos and stuff of that nature, of literally them being in the darkness and everything, and then the BTS and Army logo looking like literal doors, and then the project doors and the heavenly white light, you know, beyond that, like basically saying it Suge's part in that directly tied into that, and I thought that was beautiful. And it kind of ties back to the whole yet to come of them being, you know, in the all white, like kind of heavenly gear and everything. It's just, I love the way these songs are kind of storytelling wise, seeming to build off each other and play off each other, yet still thematically connect. Even if the musicality of them is different, it's still like the same values and everything, which again just speaks more to their artistry. But and at the end, I definitely wanted a little bit of that vocal run, because it felt like Cookie was about to really let off with a vocal run. And I'm not mad that they didn't do it, because again, it felt like them kind of almost taking a deep breath and just calmly reflecting on it, as opposed to, you know, because that high belting out the note of that sort of message has not only been done in so much of their work, but particularly in the Young Forever, which they included as a sample in the beginning, like basically even showing the progress from then to now in that regard. So I thought that was really well done, and V's voice was very poetic and reflective in what he was saying as well. So it definitely, like, the emotion I needed it to hit for me, hit without a doubt. I did think it was going to be a little bit of a vocal run at the end there, but I'm not mad in the slightest or anything like that, because I thought everything was conveyed beautifully as well. I also love that, you know, Jin got a very, you know, huge piece of this and everything like that. I love, it seems Now, granted, just in the tracks that we checked out thus far, it does seem like he's featured a lot more heavily. I don't know if that was a conscious choice or anything like that, whether it, military reasons or anything like that. But
Well deserved.
It could be total coincidence, whatever, but it's just, I really feel like he's, getting such a good piece of these. A lot of his parts vocally have, been arguably my favorite on the few tracks that we've checked out from this. And certainly in the Run BTS
Now,
episode. Or not.
if you don't like comparison, feel free to fast forward.
Here we go.
But if you were to rate all 3 songs you heard tonight,
Run BTS,
For You,
For You,
and then
Yet to Come.
Can I get something off real quick?
yeah, of course.
Was I-
But you
I
gotta
don't
rate
know.
them first.
Huh?
You gotta rate them though. You too, Keith.
See, I don't know, because granted, I haven't seen the Spring Day video, so all the Easter eggs and things of that nature in there that tied into, you know what I mean?
Rate
Like,
the musicality.
It's only one Easter egg, just that carousel.
Just the carousel.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, the bus.
Well,
No, to Spring Day. That's the
Oh,
only
the spring
carousel.
day. Yeah.
The bus could have been no more
That's
dream.
weird, though. A lot of
Yeah,
them
it is.
ballads,
Maybe the train. Maybe
a
the
lot
train.
of them ballads kind of hit me hard, and the fact that
Jimmy
this
does the
specifically
same movements
referenced
that he
this,
did on, Jean too,
or
it was the same.
J-Hope's verse specifically referenced the
Less
Spring
than
Day
two.
line and everything
Yeah,
like
not
that.
that
That
big.
really
Oh, so
hit
that
me
was-
personally
that
a
was
lot
V.
more. As far as like the hardest
Jimmy
hitting,
kills.
thing for me, but on a first listen or just kind of going through this, I would say personally, it would probably be this is my favorite, then Run BTS, then Yet to Come.
What about you, Keith?
As far as musicality and everything like that, but that's literally a first listen, so we'll
So
see.
it'll be Run
but
BTS, it'll be this, and then it'll be Yet to Come.
Man,
That's fair. And I honestly really do think Run BTS, like collectively as a song, featuring everyone, incredible rap line, all that, probably has the most for what most people will want, because it still had the incredible vocal runs, still had great rap and beat selection, everything like that.
for me, it'd be Yet to Come, For Youth, and then Run BTS.
Really?
He lying like shit.
Reverse that.
Yeah, I'm saying, really.
But the last thing I was really gonna say about this was just they constantly, like, I just know the whole door concept and the whole beyond that spectrum of the light and everything that they keep seeming to embody, from the the bulletproof dark shadow selves, if you will, to the more like self-actualized, I guess, for lack of a better term. It really does feel like they just ultimately feel self-actualized, even though it's their, like, it's a beginning new journey for them. It really feels like this would be, if you were to close the chapter on BTS as a group and they were to hypothetically, I'm not saying end or stop music or anything of that nature, but it just feels like a complete story is fully told. And they still, again, whole album, best is yet to come. So it's incredible, just their journey up to this point, and hearing songs like this that take that time to appreciate and reflect on the past, as you had said, even in V's verse of just remember being able to laugh and cry so easily, like just how the emotions ran wild, how we were not directionless, but how we had our moments where we were confused, hurt, everything like that. And I'm blanking on who exactly said it. I believe it was Jimin, I could be wrong, but it was basically like rise, fall, rise again, and even if we fall again, like towards the tail end of the song here. So I thought that was all like really tied in beautifully as well, in the sense that like we've heard them talk about how big of a mountain they constantly climb and achieve every single time they release something, whether it's a project, album, solo music, anything like that, and that the shadow that's cast from that is much more, because it's that pressure and that fear to live up to those expectations. The fact that they kind of had that line in there that basically said, and it was almost in a welcoming sense of, if there is a fall, like, that's okay too. You know what I mean? And I don't necessarily believe that there's going to be one, but just for them musically, the fact that they kind of incorporated that little element, it just feels like they're okay and they're prepared and they're, at peace with who they are and where they're going and everything like that. And that's just, really amazing to see.
Yeah, my wrap up on this would be that I think the rap line really did its thing on here, just because nobody sounds repetitive. All of them bring something different and unique to the track. This is an A+ track. Y'all already know how I feel about Jimin, and he definitely carried on here. These type of tracks really, I'm not going to use the word elevate V, But I feel like these type of melodies and beats are kind of made perfectly suited for like V. So I love hearing his voice and just kind of how he goes off on here. I'm loving everything that I'm hearing from Jin just almost within the last year. Because we kind of not so much had him peg as kind of one type of singer, but the different cadences and fluctuations that he can do with his voice that we're hearing on all these tracks are just God tier. And then JK, you can just he can do no wrong. Anytime someone is sneaking in melodies or doing vocal runs or anything, it's just JK. Yeah. This is an A+ track. This is one of those tracks where if this was the first time the world was listening to you, they can see a different variety and flavor from every different member. I think everyone stood out. The line distribution was good here. Like this joint, probably like top 30 if I want to be like stuck in the moment for me. I think BTS is just getting started with some shit, and that they got a lot to say on their next track.
Too, for y'all?
Yeah,
this is really one of the first actual comebacks that we've been around for, like just this whole project in general. Mm-hmm. How many times have we heard a track and like, oh, I wonder what the temperature was like when that dropped, or I wonder how this was, or this must have hit this.
We know the temperature now.
Yeah. No, it just does that feel like? I mean, how does
this
that
is
feel
actually my third comeback this year.
Yeah.
Of like groups that I like. I'm a part of the fandom.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Now we've been around for some shit, bro.
Yeah, first Dreamcatcher, then Monster X, then
this is like the first.
NCT didn't have a comeback this year.
Yeah, all they shit dropped in the tail end, just like Treasure did in December. So all they stuff was tail end. Yeah, like you said, Dreamcatcher had dropped. They joined. NCT the drop that happened this year was technically
that was
Dream.
I'm not a dreamer.
Yeah, you can count Tae Young as a joint though, kind of. Tae Young Ghost.
Oh yeah. Shit, that's 4.
Yeah. This is the first comeback where I've been here from like the moment that song dropped at midnight. You know what I mean?
That's what I mean.
So it's kind of dope being here from the moment it actually dropped on all platforms and like 2 hours in.
Yeah, it just feels like we can like authentically talk about it almost like without
next year and shit like, yo, remember Proof?
Yeah, remember Proof? Yo, remember when they gonna drop, yo? Like, remember when BTS dropped, bro?
And it's OG panel.
Oh, snap.
So it's a little bit more special.
Wow.
And next year we gonna be doing this full time.
This is beautiful. It's like a...
Everyone's missing.
He said, where's everyone?
Maybe all these videos were a love letter to the Redeemers.
Oh shit, maybe, you know what I'm saying, in a time loop. Damn. And it brought us here. I ain't even think about. I gotta go, man. It's too much.
It's crazy.
You everybody good?
Yeah.
Like, comment, subscribe, #Redeemers. Let us know if y'all want us to re-jump into certain tracks on Proof that either we missed or that y'all didn't get the full panel reaction for. Also, tell us which one of the new tracks is your favorite. List your order. If you're feeling comfortable doing that, don't.
And if you're on Weverse, go give our guys lots of love and
yeah, because they going off on it right now.
Yeah, there might be an after credit scene.
Yeah. Love you guys to death, though. We're going to holler at y'all. Peace.